Okay, so 7e-2, we're going to subtract rational expressions with unlike denominators. Basically exactly the same thing as we did earlier, but this time we have a subtraction, which means we're going to distribute that subtraction sign. Okay, so I know it's really difficult, so I figured we'd do this twice in 1 week's time instead of 1 day. Okay, that quiz in Extra Math, complete this first. You have less than 10 minutes from the point you walk in the door until you are done. Okay, so for those of you guys who put on your headphones and don't even listen to what I'm saying, remember you should be done with Extra Math within 10 minutes of entering class. You were spending, wasting too much time on Extra Math. It's a 5 minutes assignment maximum. That's it. If you're spending 10 minutes, you're too long, too slow. Okay, we don't have time for this. All right, review. We need to find common denominators. So I'm going to factor these both denominators and I'll multiply by the missing parts. So I'm going to pause the video and I'll show you what I'm okay, so what this means is what they have in common are these x's. So that is part of our least common denominator. The left side only has red and blue, so that means I need to give it a green term. So that means on the left it's going to get a x over x, and on the right we're going to give it the red term, which is times 2x plus 3 over x plus 3. Okay, so I'm going to pause it, I'm going to multiply everything out, we'll have a common denominator. Okay, so I have x times 2 times x plus 3. Red, blue, there's the red again, and green, same on both sides. Here I distributed 1 times x, I got an x in the numerator. I started playing on this one because I wanted 3 times 2, which is 6. These two make a 6. And then I'm going to multiply by the part inside. I'm not going to multiply the 3 times the x, and that's too much. Only multiplying 2 numbers at a time, 3 times 2. That answer times the remaining part. 6 times x, 6x, and 6 times 3 is going to be 18. I'll add my like terms together, and I'll have 6x plus x is 7x plus 18 as my numerator. My denominators stay exactly as they are, and there's our final answer. Okay, I could multiply them all together, but I don't want to. Okay, second do now. What I did was I factored out the left side, and now that everything's factored, we have the x plus 5, the matching parts in black. The one on the right's missing the red, so we'll give it the red. X minus 5 over x minus 5. That creates a gigantic 1. Again, when I multiply by 1, this is unit 1. Multiplying by 1 is multiplicative identity property. Nothing changes. Okay, I'll distribute and distribute. My numerator is x squared minus 5x plus 3x plus 15. That's our numerator. Here's our wonderful, beautiful denominator. It's all the same, x plus 5, and in red, x minus 5. Okay, I'm going to combine my like terms across the top. I'll start off with that 3x, that x squared, that goes first. And then my other like terms, 3x and negative 5x make negative 2x, and then plus 15. And all that over our new denominator, which doesn't change. We have there. Okay, our numerator should factor, is what it looks like. I'm going to factor out our numerator as, oh wait, it doesn't factor, so I guess we're okay. I thought it was going to. Never mind. Alright, same vocabulary words. These we're using all the time. We say them all the time, so again, you should know them all. Okay. Now we're going to do the exact same thing like we did before, very similar. The only thing is we're distributing a negative to the second half. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor out the denominators. 4r is 2 times 2 times r, and this one is going to be r times r. Okay, so let me change the colors. Okay, so if you look at them, what I did is I marked two r's in blue because those are what they have in common. That means this side's going to need the missing green, just like we did in our do now, and this side is going to need the missing red. 2 times 2, or we can just say 4. This one's going to need a 4 over 4, which is the 2 over 2 times 2. That's going to be the big gigantic 1. We'll multiply everything. Okay, so I multiply the top, 5 times r, 5r. 2 times 4 is going to be 8. My denominator, 2 times 2 times r, 4r squared. Now this is the only part that changes. Instead of it being a plus, this is a minus. Now the minus only goes to everything after it. So I have a negative 8 and a positive 5r all over 4r squared. That's our answer because this does not factor. If it factored, I would, and I'd try and cancel something out, but it doesn't. Okay, same thing. Again, I need to find a common denominator. So instead of 3y squared, we're going to make this a 3y, 3 times y times y. Okay, and in this side, instead of a 9y, we'll change that to 3 times 3 times y. There you go. Let's change the color. Okay, so again, blue is what they have in common, and red is what they need on the right side. Oh, sorry, not red. This one, I should change this color to green. This one should be green. Okay, so on the right side, it needs a red. It has blue and a green, so it's going to need a red. Y over y in the form of 1. Do not say y. It needs y over y or a 1. On the left, it's going to need a green. 3 over 3. Again, that creates a 1. Okay, we'll multiply everything together. Our denominators are now 3 times 3, 9y squared. And on this side, 9y squared. We have a minus in between. We'll distribute 15x and negative 2xy. Combine my like terms across the top. There are none, so I have 15x, and this is what we learned right here. Negative only goes to the second term, positive 2xy. And my denominator is going to be 9y squared. Now, these both have an x here and an x here. Now, I could factor that out, and that's about all I can get out. But this one doesn't have an x, so there's no point in taking out that x. We could leave it just the way it is. Okay, this is the one where the skill that you learned about cross multiplying by the denominators is going to help you. Okay, so the x minus 1 here and the x plus 2, they can go on opposite sides. I can multiply this by x minus 1 over x minus 1. And on this side, I can multiply by x plus 2 over x plus 2. Because this doesn't factor, this represents one term, one number, and this also represents one number. Okay, we'll multiply across the top, x times x times 1, x squared minus x, and on this side we'll have 4x plus 8. Okay, and then we're going to have that wonderful minus sign in between, which only goes to these two terms. The denominators stay the same. I'm going to keep them separated, x minus 1 and x minus 1. And then I'll keep this x plus 2 and x plus 2. In the end, our denominators will be x plus 2 and x minus 1. Okay, they must be factors. If they're not factors, it's not going to work. Combine my like terms. X squared is only 1. Then I have a negative x and a negative 4x, which gives me negative 5x. And this was a positive 8. It's now going to be a negative 8. Now, I would try and factor this. The x box is not going to work. So that's my final answer. Okay. Again, cross multiply by the denominators, and we'll get everything together. Okay, so I multiply by d plus 5 over d plus 5, d minus 2 over d minus 2, giant 1s on both sides. My denominators are written there, d minus 2, d plus 5, d minus 2, d plus 5. There they are. Okay, I'll multiply my numerators. On this side, I'll get 3d minus 6. And on the left side, I'll get d squared plus 5d, d squared plus 5d, maybe write this, d squared plus 5d, and then negative d minus 5. I'll distribute this negative to everything behind, and then we'll get, let's see, this one. Here's our answer coming up. The equal sign. Okay, so this will be negative 3d now and positive 6. We'll combine all of our like terms now. D squared, it's only one of them. Okay, I have 5 minus 1 minus 3. So it's 5 minus 4, which is plus 1d, and then 5, negative 5, plus 6 is plus 1. Again, this will not factor. It really looks like it will, but actually it won't. Okay, last two. Again, factor out my denominators so I can find out what I need to multiply the other side by. What's missing on the other side. Okay, so let me factor the denominator. Okay, so what we got so far is we got our black that match, our red and our blue. So I'm only going to multiply by red on the right and blue on the left. So here's on the right side, u minus 1 over u minus 1. And on the left, u plus 4 over u plus 4. Again, this represents a 1, and vice versa on the left, we have a 1. Okay, multiply my numerators, I'll get a new denominator. Okay, so I have my denominators written out. This is the first term, there's a subtraction sign in between, and this is the equal sign. My numerators are the same all the way through. I just copied them so they're all the same. My numerators, I'll distribute 2u squared, and then, that looks like a 4, 2u squared plus 8u, and on this side we're gonna have a, so on the other side I multiplied it out, got u squared minus 2u minus 1. I'm gonna distribute this to each of these terms and I'll get a minus, a plus, and a plus. I'll add all my terms together. U squared minus 2u squared is 1u squared. 8u plus 2u is going to be plus 10u plus 1. Again, that's not going to factor. Final answer. That's a u. Okay. We'll do it one more time. Factor out the denominators for both sides. Find out whichever one's missing, and multiply on the missing side. Okay, on the left I got it factored. The right could not factor. They both have a black b plus 1, so this one needs a b minus 1 over b minus 1 as my one missing term. Okay, so I'm going to multiply everything together. My denominator should be just this, b plus 1, b minus 1. That's my denominator. So I'm going to multiply, well, I have a 6 on this side. Here I have to multiply and get b squared minus b. I'll distribute this to both terms, and I'll get a negative b and a positive b. So I got negative b squared plus b plus 6. Let's see if this factors, and it does, but it's not going to cancel with a b plus 1 or a b minus 1. So there's our final answer. Okay, here's your exit slip. There should be some questions online. Do not let them be late. You will not leave this classroom until these are answered. So make sure you have these ready. Okay. Collaborative group, there should be a set of cards on your desk. Direct instruction, we'll do some practice in the back. I'll show you what it looks like to cancel first. Independent, I did add a new assignment. Just complete the ones that are not yet complete. Very, 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 very few of you guys were done with everything. Write everything down. Everything. down.